I pledge allegiance
to
to
the
the
flag
flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for
for
which
which it stands,
one
one
nation
nation,
under
under
God,
God, indivisible,
with
with
liberty.
liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence for those who have fallen in the line of duty and for the continued recovery of our neighbor, the New Haven firefighter, whose name right now I didn't write down. Thank you. Okay, thanks to my oversight, we need to approve 2 sets of minutes. I went sailing through the agenda last month and forgot to do it. So first I need a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of April 8th, 2021. Fitzpatrick. And a second?
Second.
Olzaki. All in favor? Aye. Someone's joining. I can see the phone line coming in. Is that Rob?
No,
And
I
John
believe that's Norma.
Okay,
Norma, is that you?
It's Norma here.
great.
Okay.
And
Thank you, Norma.
John Branley, I think you're on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, good.
Commissioner Brantley, thank you.
Yep. And I now need a motion to approve the minutes from the regular meeting, May 13th to 2021, and Commissioner Olzaki has a correction.
That's correct. I was not in attendance at that meeting.
Okay. Any other corrections? Okay, with that correction noted, I need a motion to approve. Fitzpatrick, no, second. Liam, Commissioner Brooke, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Next, I need a motion to amend the agenda and put, somebody's got an open mic that part of the first group has 2 mics open. I need a motion to amend the agenda and add under new business a motion to approve carryover for the chief. And I need a motion and a second, and it needs to pass with 1, 2, 3, at least 5 votes. We've got more than 5 votes on. So motion to amend the agenda to add under item 13, new business carryover of vacation.
So moved.
John Branley, and second, Commissioner Burke. All in favor?
Aye.
Thumbs up. Okay. And any opposed? Okay. We'll get to that when it comes up. Chairman's report. I did not follow up this month. I'm still catching up from my fall. To follow up on a strategic planning report presented last month to see what areas each commissioner might like to be involved in. And I will send it out, and we can, again, a hard copy so that you have it and can review it, so we can work on that so you're available to the department as they work on it over the next 6 months. And then I did the amendment under the agenda. I also want to note, is Southport on the line?
No,
Okay, so I won't do it there. I'll do it here. We are still waiting for their report to the commission. We had Stratfields. We have not had Southport, so I'd like it noted that we would like that and any other reports that they may be behind on. And with that, I think I've covered my items, and we'll turn it over to Chief McCarthy.
All right, thank you, Commissioner, and we'll make sure that we send a note along to the leadership for Southport volunteers regarding updated annual report. So I have fairly brief comments today. I do want to point out the monthly report topic is firefighter safety, and I think one of the ways to best illustrate the Fairfield Fire Department's commitment to firefighter safety is to refer to Chief Bisson's monthly report that should be included in your packet. And if not, I will make sure that you get it. Deputy, do you know that if that went to the committee?
Now,
Yep. So on a weekly basis, and this has been going on for 6 years or so, the Fairfield firefighters that are on duty on Monday participate in a Mayday drill. And a Mayday drill is intended to train our firefighters, and it's done in many communities in our region, around the state, and around the country, how to react to and develop muscle memory to a condition that would jeopardize their safety if they become trapped or incapacitated in any way at the scene of an emergency. And the Mayday process is intended to be standardized, hence the muscle memory, to ensure that everybody's doing it the same. The language is fully recognized by everybody on the fire ground and in the emergency communication center, and it is repeated. Because such a firefighter becoming trapped is such a anxiety-producing, stressful environment, it's easy to become disoriented and fail to make the most standard types of reactions or responses. So we train our firefighters to practice this under varying circumstances, so that should they ever become trapped, they have the tools necessary and the practice to make sure that they're exercising the Mayday protocol. So that is done on a weekly basis, and it rotates between stations and companies. Sometimes it involves multi-companies at the same time, and some maybe just a single station. But it is an important ingredient in firefighter safety program. Second, the under the department training, I think it was the fourth item down, the bailout drill is, so you see department training was completed for annual SCBA, bailout, rope rescue, and trench refresher this month. And the bailout is, and we may have discussed this previously, or you may have seen it, if a firefighter is trapped above the first floor, he carries tools with him, open hooks. So we have integrated harnesses in the turnout gear to allow them to self-rescue, essentially take that device out of their pocket with the rope, throw it out the window, and they practice in a very a maneuver. So put the hook on a windowsill or on a heavy object in the room and essentially jump out the window. Now you can imagine that takes some practice to trust your equipment and trust your training. The deputy participated in it last month. I have in the past, and it takes some confidence building. But and the reason why it's included in our annual refresher is to make sure that every firefighter is absolutely familiar and confident in his training and equipment, so that in the unlikely event that they become trapped, they do have the means and methods, one, to call for help through the Mayday protocol, and two, the self-rescue technique. That doesn't mean that the department is not doing everything that it can to provide a legitimate rescue to the firefighters that may be trapped on upper floors. Key element of that is laddering the building and putting ladders up. If you see a fire scene and you see multiple ladders up against windows on every side of the building, it's to ensure that there's a second way up. And we've talked about the speed in which fires develop and spread with new construction and new furnishings. So we recognize that, and this is part of our response to that. A good radio protocol, laddering the building, Mayday drill, and self-rescue capability. So I did want to point that out because I think that those are key elements in how we approach safety. I think this past year, our approach to COVID certainly highlights that commitment and engaging multiple levels of the organization and officers and firefighters with skills, specific skills, and record keeping to make sure that we knew as best as was reported we knew when we were responding to a home with COVID that had a reported case. Part of the protocol, we worked with the ECC to make sure that they were querying the calls appropriately to identify any potential COVID patients there. We had a code that was used in the radio transmission to ensure that firefighters were referring to CAD notes to understand what the hazards were, and were then taking the appropriate PPE precautions for those types of events and limiting the exposure. Not everybody's going in the building. So all that said, I think that the Fairfield Fire Department has really embraced firefighter safety in a whole host of ways. Because as the note on my signature block on my email, healthy in, healthy out. And we have stressed the importance of personal responsibility because the deputy and I and officers can tout firefighter safety, but it really requires each individual to be responsible for their own safety, given the tools and training that we provide. The deputy will speak to a fire that we had last week in a 3-story tenement. I'm not sure that a 3-story apartment building. I'm not sure that you got any of the links to the video that was shot, and if not, make sure that we send that to you. Very impressive fire traveling up the outside rear of a 3-story apartment building, and none of our firefighters covered. Very aggressive interior or first exterior, 2.5-inch hand line operated by one firefighter in order to suppress the fire that's traveling at the back of the building, while other firefighters made entry into the building. It takes a lot of coordination to make sure that we're not pushing fire into the building onto the firefighters that are making an interior attack. The firefighter that was manning that 2.5-inch hose line, that takes training and repetition. So we came out of that incident with no injuries to the Fairfield. And I think that, our experience has been that, yes, firefighters get hurt, they're injured, but it's seldom at an emergency scene. And because of the way that they're trained and the way that they operate, the way that they're supervised. So with that, I will conclude my remarks on firefighter safety with a repeat, I'll repeat that, this is the #1 priority for the Fairfield Fire Department. When we hire people, we make a commitment to their families that we'll do everything that we can to keep their family members safe as a Fairfield firefighter. When we promote folks to lieutenant and assistant chief, we certainly emphasize how important their role is to ensure firefighter safety. And we certainly adopt it in every part of the organization. So with that, I will pause for comments or questions before I go on to the rest of my agenda items.
Any questions, Commissioner? Looks like everybody's good. Go ahead, Chief.
Okay. Strategic plan discussion. Look forward to really digging in over the summer. We've been really busy this past month. Haven't made any progress, although we have a number of projects that are certainly in the capital realm that are moving forward. Once I sent the commissioner a hard copy or an electronic copy of the plan that was shared with the commissioners, the commission last week, and look forward to points of contact for each of those specific areas.
Mhm.
Budget update, there's really nothing to report at this point unless the deputy has some. We are closing out the fiscal year. We've received the instructions from the finance department on the closeout process for fiscal year 21. And it makes for a very hectic June because many of the budget lines have large requisitions to, blanket requisitions for purchase orders for the entire year. We got to close those out, see if there's any balance, and make the appropriate year-end expenditures for some of those items. So we're working diligently to finish the budget year and anticipate the upcoming. Capital projects, we do not have any significant progress. We are meeting tomorrow on the bathroom project, continue to work through some of the finer details of that to stretch those dollars as far as we can. And the firefighters have been extremely engaged in that process. It's not just the admin. We have engaged the station's personnel, particularly Station 2, 5, and 1, where all of the work is going to be going on the bathrooms, and looking to get construction documents shortly. And lastly, or second last, because I have another comment, but we do have a donation of $2,000. Deputy, we have two separate letters. Are these two separate donations or are they one? They're both from the same family.
It's two separate checks, so I would
Okay.
consider
Yep.
two separate. One is to the fire department and the other is to CERT.
Got it. So that's included in your packet. It comes from Mary Totora Daly, and one is, as you saw, the local 1426 has developed an autism awareness program with a window sticker to help our firefighters identify families that may be traveling with someone that's autistic, or in a home that has an autistic child or family member. And part of that is awareness for us to recognize, that an inappropriate response or could be easily misunderstood. And we want to make sure that we're doing everything. The emergency is traumatic enough, but to be misunderstood, could have dire consequences. So the union and the department is very engaged, and we certainly appreciate the $2,000 donation, which is intended to help us address the most urgent needs for the department in dealing with this topic.
And then there's the second one for CERT. Yes,
Yep.
Joe.
I just have a question, whether the CERT one falls under our jurisdiction or not.
CERT falls under the jurisdiction and is managed by the Fairfield Fire Department as the and the
Emergency management.
commission in line as the commission responsible for the fire department. I think it follows from one to another.
And that's the way we've always treated it.
Yep.
That under emergency management, et cetera, they are part of our purview.
Yep.
So, other questions? I need a motion to accept both of those donations. I think we can do them in a single motion.
So moved.
Fitzpatrick, second. Burke, all in favor? Aye. We're all good. Any nays? Chief, I don't know whether you're aware, but there are now seatbelt covers that announce that the occupant is challenged. There's probably different sets of language.
Sure.
It's specifically aimed towards autism. I have a number of friends who are autistic, but also who have children. And so that's why I'm aware of it. I'll see if I can find the photo. But it is out there on the marketplace, and it's just a clip-on or Velcro thing that wraps around a belt so it doesn't get in anybody's way.
Yep. No, that's good to know, and good part of our awareness training for our firefighters. Thank you for that. You know, some of these things you really have to be on the lookout for. Remember when medical bracelets first became available in training. Unfortunately, some of us go back to when those medical bracelets first started. But you know,
now it's the codes on the phone so that you can get to everything.
Yeah. So certainly being aware of that is important. I do have one other comment that I'd like to make,
Okay.
and that is to bring to your attention that we have 4 members that have submitted their intent to retire. And firefighter Rick Casey, firefighter Andrew Darrow, Lieutenant Brian McHugh, and fire inspector Hank Ferentz. All intend to retire on or about July 1st or 2nd. All of you who have been part of the commission for a while or been connected to the department in one way or another certainly recognize the names and know how important they are to our organization. And it's I think that they are, 20, 30, 60, 90, over 120 years of service to the fire department, and very engaged with the department. So it is a significant loss. But as you know, we are in a constant process of evolution, and the new members will bring new life and perspective, involvement in ways that their predecessors, they have left a legacy of service to the community. And we only hope and pray that they have a healthy and happy retirement, and their replacements can do as good or better job than they did. And that's what we hope for.
Thank you for the update. I know Commissioner Ozalki has a question.
What does that do to our list?
My question.
So the deputy, we can give an update because we've been working through that process, and he has the most accurate details on that.
Deputy?
Okay, so I spoke to the first 3 on the list, and they are anxiously awaiting our call. The 4th person on the list, I emailed 2 days ago. Have not heard anything from him. I've also heard a rumor that he is in the academy in another city near here, who's not in the consortium, so it doesn't knock him off our list. I did also then have a conversation with the the next person on the list, who is very interested but may not be qualified as of yet, and is working on that. The next person after that also got on town of same city that that 4th person got on. So that person may stay. I'm not sure. I haven't asked that person yet since it hasn't really come up. After that, then it's the one person that we deferred the last time and put on the back of our list who may be working as a police officer out west. So we could very easily go through this list and be one short to get that fourth person, or we may be able to hire the fourth person. Otherwise, what we'll have to do is July 1st or so, we'll have to convene our oral examination with fire commissioners and our panel and get some names.
Okay. Joe, do you have a follow-up question?
I do not.
Okay, I do. By any chance, are any of the four already don't need to go to the academy?
No, they all need to go to the academy.
Okay. Just checking.
Yeah.
Yes, Chief.
So because we know that at least one additional vacancy will be created in January of 2022 with the creation of fire inspector, that the funding for that is secured, and that position will be appointed the beginning of next year. So that will create one additional vacancy under the circumstances the deputy laid out. It means that we don't have a valid list candidate at this point, as far as we can tell, because we think that those two that are already in an academy in a nearby city will stay there. Our expectation is that they will. So we're going to need it. We're going to need a list, and I think that what we have experienced, and the two candidates working elsewhere notwithstanding, we have had a number, or at least two people, turn down jobs elsewhere, knowing that they were on the list for the town of Fairfield and had a very good chance for employment here. So I think that it would behoove us to move aggressively to interview, at least somewhere between 5 and 10, so that we have an active list. That can serve us for September 1st if we cannot, if we can't fill all the spots from the existing list, and certainly will be operational for the February of 2022 academy list. And after that, the consortium list expires and the new process will begin all over again.
Okay. So looking at July, the 4th is a Sunday. I'm assuming the 5th is a holiday. That does make it a short week. So I don't know whether if you want to go into the week of July 12th to schedule, and I don't know, I can make myself available.
I think that we wanted to look at the week after that. Is that correct?
Okay.
You
Week
mean
of the 19th or the week of the 12th, Deputy?
Oh, the week of the 12th, I'm on vacation, but I guess I can do it remotely.
No, let's do it the week of the 19th. I was just trying to.
I suggested that
Possible
we do it
dates.
the following week so you can participate fully in person.
Right, yeah, no, that's fine. I was just giving you the earliest I thought we could do.
So Monday, the 19th, you're saying?
Yeah, that week, I can do. Any day that week.
Okay, I'll speak to the other people.
Yeah.
I'll speak to the other members of the committee, see if they're going to be.
Mr. Ozaki, are you going to be available? Because I know you have a major project going on.
I got a bunch of major projects going
Right.
on. Well, the 19th, I already took off as a mental health day, so I have the 19th off already. That was just one of my, I'm blowing vacation days. I'm taking every other Monday off and stuff like that. So the 19th, I'm already off.
Okay.
Often available, Joe?
Yeah, I was just gonna stay home because,
Well, then you definitely need mental health. If you're going to use your day off, that you need it for mental health to come in and play with us.
so Monday's good for me, and then I can see if I can get, Tuesday, Wednesday off or whatever.
I don't think that it will take us more than 2 days, and we'll have to strategize about the list and, but if we can tentatively hold 1920, that would make sense.
Okay. And Deputy, as soon as you're able to check with the rest of the panel, let us know, because it sounds like Joe has a little, if we need to do it Monday, Wednesday, sounds like Joe has a little bit of flexibility there instead of Monday, Tuesday, but let's target Monday, Tuesday if it works for everybody.
Okay, I'll contact them tomorrow.
Would,
Okay.
would that be better for you, Joe, back-to-back days?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was my question. Anything else?
But my only other thing is unless there's another commissioner that really wants to jump on this, or do we want to try to keep consistency since this is part of the same consortium list that we're working off of? So that's, up to whoever. But I have no problem doing it unless somebody wants to really jump up and down and say, ooh, pick me.
I don't see anybody even waving a hand, let alone jumping up and down.
All right, so then I will definitely then finish out this testing period of the consortium list. And I will make it work so that we have consistency at least coming from the commission side.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I have a hold on my calendar too. Chief, are you finished?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, Deputy Chief, you're up.
Okay. So, as the chief mentioned, in regard to operations, on June 5th at Churchill Street, 12:40 in the morning when people are sleeping, and we've got a 3-story wood frame with, 3 families. It was a very swift moving fire. I'll try to send you the video that came from the Doing It Local guy. He made a good video. He was on scene before our first arriving engine got there. So I think car 3, the assistant chief was down the other end of the block. You can see his lights, but the first 2 engine, with water, was not on the scene. They actually had a little difficulty getting into the block. A person, I think, got mesmerized, didn't know where to go, and they backed up trying to get in, and they did clip the car, but it was exigent circumstances. So afterward, after the fire, the assistant chief in charge, Chief Caliper, he had a hot wash, and just like most of us, battalion chiefs would do after a big fire, we bring everybody and we talk to all the crews and what did you do, what did you see, and we try to learn from it. And when it was my turn to speak, I just said, this was the Yonkers fire. I felt right at home because it was 3-story wood frame building with 3 stories of open rear porches in the back going bottom to top. It was a very formidable fire with which was, the danger was very prevalent. We had reports, that people were still in the building, and we had to confirm, by doing searches, and then we heard, more people were starting to report to the assistant chief saying, yeah, we're out, they're okay. But it was a very aggressive work. The chief mentioned Elijah Rendell, not by name, but he was the firefighter on Engine 1. He went in the backyard with a 2.5-inch hose. Now, Commissioner Alsaki might be able to agree with this, and our chief, that I'd grab an 1.75-inch hose by myself, and I'd wrestle it, and I'd try to put as much fire out, and I think I could do it. A 2.5-inch hose is formidable, and this one guy did it himself because the other firefighter, we only have 3 people on a fire engine. The other firefighter was operating the pump and gave him water when he needed and connected to the hydrant right away. And then the lieutenant went with the rescue company, and they went in looking for people who were, could be missing. So it was aggressive firework. And I just tell them that they continually impress me. I think pound for pound, this fire department is the best I've ever seen. And, I just can't say any less. They were great. So Marine 228 was involved in a search for those missing Smithtown fishermen back on June 3rd. You might have heard about that. So I'll say more about that, but those were just 2 interesting, among many other runs that we had and calls and excellent work that our people did, but you know, a lot of initiative and capability happened in both of those incidents. Even though unfortunately the fishermen found closer to the Smithtown shore, and they're both deceased. Our pumper committee, as you know, we have the monies for our new pumper. So Lieutenant Pat Barry is the chairperson. He's it used to be Assistant Chief Bisson, but we're trying to you know, groom some other people for leadership roles and for the future. And he's doing great work. All he's been doing is asking questions of everybody, and he's picking my brain. He's been doing it on numerous occasions. Well, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? What should we do? What kind of tank size? What do we need? This? Do we need that? What do we do with foam? He's trying to do his best, and I know it's going to be a very it's a great effort, and it's going to be very positive for the Fairfield Fire Department. As the chief mentioned, we've got the 4 personnel that we're going to have to process. So once we get the okay, we're going to start at least scheduling medical tests for the first 3, do their background checks. We're going to get possibly get a date set for candidate 4, and then just say, okay, this is the date that we got, you know, and this when you're going to show up to that. So we're going to be doing a lot of work processing these people in the next in the month of July, because August 30 is when CFA Class 68 starts. We have, just to remind you, we have the swearing in Thursday, June 16th at 4 p.m. For the it's the, you know, sort of the official swearing in for the 2 most recent CFA graduates that joined our fire department. For the other person who already was a prior, yes, Fisher?
You said Thursday the 16th. It's Wednesday the 16th, correct?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we had it right.
Yes, okay, thank you. I'm sorry. So the other firefighter that didn't have to go to the CFA, and the lieutenant that you know, was promoted a few months ago, and for our new mechanic. So please, if you're around, it's always nice to see you all, but I know that you know, you all have work during the day. So let's see, emergency management. We're
Chief, before you move on,
sure, Joe.
I'm just entering stuff in my calendar. That's at 4 o'clock, you said?
4 p.m. at
4 p.m.
yes.
Okay, cool, got it.
Okay. So we're heavy into the planning for the half marathon and for the fireworks with the police and with other town agencies, departments. Right now we're in the process of getting light towers from other jurisdictions to light up the beach area. We have to get 6 towers from 3 jurisdictions and logistically get them there and get them back. So it's one of those things that we're spending a lot of time working for. We've got Blessing this weekend, where we'll have a footprint on also, and hopefully if any of you are around. Chief, do you know what time it is? 10:30, the down in
The parade is at 11, the Blessing of the Fleet is at noon.
okay.
At the
So this
lower,
is down in South. For facilities, we completed, I told you last time that we completed Station 2, the access project, and we just got an approved PO for the outlying stations. We'll be working on that in this month. We're also doing demos of different manufacturers' systems in anticipation of and the renovations to be which will be this year. We're ready to start. In regard to grants, the fireboat, I mentioned fireboat was involved in the search, and it's because fortunately we were able to get it back to the water after its repowering. So we had a $59,000 portion of a larger port security grant, which I have been for, but this the local share on that was $14,000. So we got new engines and totally repowered this fireboat. And it's back, and not very shortly after it's back, was involved in that search. And we are, the great thing, the way we work is that, Coast Guard trusts us, this is sector, and we search that sector, then report back to them that this sector is clear, and at least they can trust and they can move on. So we had a portion of our work because they didn't know where the fishermen were at that time. So we did a substantial portion of Fairfield shore, even though the initial incident was Smithtown. And that's basically it.
Grant, anything else on grants?
No, okay. In regard to the AFG, we're still waiting. I was on a seminar the other day. They said June, July, all the fire departments should hear. No one's heard yet. And not hearing doesn't mean anything bad. They're not going to tell you if you don't qualify at this point. So hopefully within, they said, the next month, June and July, we'll know. And that was the for air, we're putting in for SCBAs, the air packs that we wear. We need to upgrade a large portion, a significant portion of our supply. And also, we also asked for personal regulators for those masks, which was another sub project in that. So we're hoping that they agree with our assessment of our need.
Great. No one here from Southport. Nobody has a report for them, correct?
There's no Southport online.
No Stratfield online.
No Stratfield.
No 1426.
No.
And Norma is here for CERT, I'm assuming.
Yes. Let me just unmute her. I just asked her to unmute, so we'll see.
Okay. Norma, are you ready?
Hello?
Otherwise- there you are.
I
Go ahead.
became unmuted. Okay. Good evening, everybody. It's nice to hear you. So CERT has continued to be active during the pandemic, although it's winding down now. For the senior center activities, Julie DeMarco indicated that CERT's lunch delivery to the homebound seniors and residents would be ending, and the last day would be Wednesday, June 30th for that. In addition, CERT will continue to assist with the mobile food pantry delivery, which is every other Wednesday, and that's going to be through August 18th. And the end date for that part of the program has not yet been set. And I think Cindy has been calculating the total hours we've put into that, and we'll report to you at some point in the future. As in the past, CERT will be supporting the half marathon, which is for June 27th, and we're awaiting more information as to exactly what our role will be. And lastly, the State Citizen Corps Council still requires the CERT basic training programs to be delivered via Zoom, although that may change at the June meeting. But Region 1 has scheduled a class for evenings in July, and we're currently contacting residents who've shown interest in this training to invite them to participate. And that's
Great.
it.
Excellent. Thank you. Any questions? Yes, Joe.
No, my question, no, I'll go with CERT, but I was just trying to get your attention before we move on.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Norma. I don't think anybody else has questions. Joe, what is your,
Okay, my concern is I'm just looking at my calendar here.
yeah,
After we do these candidates, we're gonna need a commission meeting.
right,
And the July time would have already been biased.
right.
So I don't know if we want to look at people's calendars now, give people the heads up a little early here and say, hey, it'll probably be this day for a special meeting.
Right. You're a little bit ahead of me. I was going to get there, but yes, I agree. We need to sort that out.
Okay,
So hold that thought for a minute. We do have the motion that we need to do that we amended under new business. And so I need a motion to allow, and we've done this in other years. Someday you're going to use these 5 days, Chief. A motion to allow Chief McCarthy to carry over up to 5 days vacation time into our next fiscal year, which is fiscal year 2022. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Fitzpatrick, Burke. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Good. Okay, we're done with that. I had other new business, which was, I'll get to the meetings. Again tonight, the issue of hydrants and water pressure was brought up. In this case, it's a problem in New Haven, and they've had known non-working hydrants as a percentage of the total, not much, but 126 hydrants, including one across from a school. And we had a conversation, and you were going to get back to us at some point on that, Chief. So could you just make a note? I think the commission might be interested in knowing if we have, what areas we have either non-working or low pressure situations and what our actual plans are around them. It's a labor issue.
Yes, I am remiss, but we have an excellent working relationship with Aquarion. We have made significant improvements over probably the past decade with some capital work that was done probably about 10 years ago. It preceded the deputy and I, where there was significant extension in water mains to cover the most urgent need. The utility has upgraded in many areas. If you remember, when we had a problem with Holland Hill School, they stepped up and improved not only the water supply for Holland Hill School, which allowed them to meet their water flow requirements for the sprinkler system, but it also upgraded the neighborhood. They have done that in various areas in the community. We have identified an area that's probably, up Hoyden's Hill neighborhood, one that we're looking for a solution. But what I'll do is provide a better summary and more comprehensive summary for the commission at our next regular meeting. As it relates to water supply, this is one of the areas that the community is judged as we complete our insurance services office's 5-year review. We expect that the improvements that have been made will add points to our score, as well as improvements in the ECC and in the fire department, the 3 areas that are evaluated. We are hopeful that it may be a class change, which would be an upgrade. The net result would be a reduction in the fire protection or the fire portion of your homeowner's insurance. So more on that. That review should be in the works after the 1st of July. But I will get back to your point. I will get to that report.
Well, also, it's as we look at all these developments going on, if we can anticipate, they may be fine now, but not fine a year from now or 2 years from now when something's built. And, as our experience has shown, squeaky wheel with UI has made a huge difference. And so we need to continue to be a voice for what we need.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay, on the summer meetings, Joe is correct that if we currently have a meeting scheduled for July 8th, and it seems to me that we could go ahead and cancel that and do a special meeting schedule now. If we make it something like the 22nd, which would be the week we're doing the interviews, that would potentially work. The question is, how does it work on commissioner schedules? John, Liam, Bill. Bill is off. There he is. Oh, sorry. You moved on my camera.
Yeah, 22nd is a Westport P and Z night. I just don't know
Okay.
whether I'll be there or not.
Do we want to go on the 21st? We've done that before, thinking that we might interview Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Wednesday.
21st works for me.
Okay. John Bramley? You're muted, John.
Yeah, I have a conflict on the 21st. Depending upon what time it is, I might be able to take it from the road if it's a Zoom.
Okay, yeah, we can make it a Zoom to just make it more convenient. What time matters to you, John?
I mean, if it's at a regular time, that's fine. It's just if it's earlier.
Okay. And Liam?
The 21st is okay for me.
Okay, and Joe?
I'll make it work.
Okay. So I think we need a motion to cancel the July 8th commission meeting and schedule a special commission meeting on July 21st at 7 p.m. by Zoom to approve a updated list of candidates for firefighter.
So moved.
Bill, and I need a second.
Second.
Liam, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, anybody opposed? Okay, we're good on that one. My suggestion is at the moment, we're scheduled to meet on August 12th and that we leave that on the calendar and make a decision a week before on August 5th, whether we need a meeting or not. Does that work for everybody? And Jude, to note for your minutes, both Alice and Rob Cinto were not present today. So, anything else for anybody?
I have a question, Madam Chair, for the chief or the deputy. If a possible candidate is engaged in another city in the process, is there a gentleman's agreement that it's hands off? Do you poach people? How do we handle it?
Chief?
So,
Or
So
deputy?
there is an agreement that if it's a consortium town or city, that the person comes right off the list. And actually, I didn't mention it, but there is somebody that came off the list because we actually called him for the last class, but he took New Canaan. I think I'm echoing. I'm sorry. I don't know why. But anyway, there is no other agreement because we think that's unfair to the candidate. If, it's a person's livelihood. Maybe that person, if they had the opportunity, they'd rather work here. It's just, it's probably a breach of trade too. Federal Trade Commission might not like it if we start poaching. If we didn't allow people to make their own decision on where they want to work. But we just think that one of those candidates, I think his father is a captain on the job, so he may have a family history there and may not come over.
Okay.
And if I can just add to that, Bill, when we into the afternoon promulgate the list, I call each one of the candidates into the office, explain to them the process, and encourage them if they are being supported by one of the departments to ask very direct and candid questions regarding the potential for job opportunities. I think that the deputy said this is a career decision for them, and we want to make sure that they're making sound decisions based on what their expectations and goals are for their career. If they have family working in another community and affinity to that community, we certainly understand. We want to give them every reasonable opportunity, advantage to understand where we are in the process. So we are not suggesting turn down every job in the hopes that you can get one in Fairfield. I can't say that. This, 4 people retiring was an anomaly. Did an unexpected offer. So I have and continue to have those candidate conversations with candidates so that they can make it.
Thank you, Chief.
I have a question, just want to confirm for the deputy, the chairman and the chief. Interviews 1920, the meeting will be the 21st. That's what we're shooting for.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I got it in the calendar already, so.
I want to just caution, we may need to plug and play other firefighter representatives into that process, depending on availability. We will do everything we can to get the same panel to work with you. I think that it was an outstanding collection of personalities and perspectives that came together very well and very successfully. We want to maintain that as best we can, but understand that vacations and other commitments may make one or more of them unavailable, and will backfill with other qualified candidates as needed.
And Joe, I think we agreed to give the deputy till through tomorrow morning to see whether it was Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday kind of thing, which of those 3 days worked, in the hopes of maintaining the continuity.
Right. Okay, yeah, I'm good. I just, I have Monday off already. I just put in for the Tuesday, and we'll see about the Wednesday. So hopefully we can do it Monday, Tuesday.
Yep. Sounds good. Anything else? Okay, then I'll take a motion to adjourn. John and Bill. And everybody's okay? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? No? Enjoy the summer until we meet in mid-July.